Good morning, folks. Welcome to the 13th of March, 2025. Guess what that is right there? Guess what this might be right here? Right, those are little deer tracks. We're going to see if anybody's been walking out on the ice here. Certainly going to take a look here. Remember I mentioned in the last video on the 10th, I'll come back here in 7 days and we'll check on the ice. All right, it's only the 13th. Let's go check on the ice. Well, folks, all the ice is almost gone. A couple Canadian honkers over there. There's a robin. There's a sheet of ice still left out there. I would imagine in the middle of it, probably 3 or 4 inches thick yet. But then there's the need for more rain, and I'll show you why. Just like the roadsides and everything else, that they build up with all kinds of funk over the winter, and you need a good rain to flush it all away. And you can see right here with the residue left here on the surface of the lake. Hey, there's a bobber. There's a bobber right there. Hey, all this scum here on the surface. You know, you don't want to go in there yet. You can see some algae starting to bloom right there in the center, the green. Okay, this lake does get a little algae-fied. The only swimming part of this lake is over there on the opposite shore, where the middle of your screen, there's a man-made beach right there. Of course, back in the day, this was ringed with a carnival, a roller coaster, and everything back in there. Shooting gallery, dance hall, all kinds of stuff. There was an amphitheater right over here on this end of the lake that was like a little bowl, which could seat a couple thousand people. And they would put on balloon ascensions here back in the late 1890s and early 1900s, and they had quite a fair, if you would, a circus or carnival going around this whole lake. And the neighborhood I live in, right up here on the top of the hill, was fairly established by then. But some of the smaller little homes like mine wasn't a carny home, but there are some back there that were built just for the carnies, and they stayed here year round up in those little cribs. There were taverns up there. We'll do a little history walk through my neighborhood as the weather gets a little better, and I'll show you where there were taverns, where there were brothels. My neighbors live in a brothel. Well, it used to be one. I always hit them up and ask them, you know, well, how would you know that? Well, it's because it's written in local history. That's how you know that. But yeah, it's a red-winged blackbird right there. Very nice. First one I've seen of the season. A brand new property up here. People build here yet, but it's quiet. It's property values don't go down, that's for sure. And some people say, well, this is just a scummy little lake, you know, and so forth and so on. Well, as you can see, it needs the rain. Now the water, when we're fully rained upon around here, will come right up to about the edge. And you can see here on the water marks, okay, down around here. Doesn't come up too much higher, but this is a spring-fed lake, and this is said to be connected with Asylum Lake that's just to our west, 180 degrees behind us here, with an underground aquifer. And back in the day, not that long ago, but 70s, 80s, a study team came out here and they put dye in the water back there in Asylum Lake, and it took about a week and a half and it bubbled up over here in Woods Lake. And so there was also a story about back in the Salem Lake in the day, they used to cut ice out of there and store it in the ice houses all summer, which is a fact. See, I'm singing to him and he's singing to me, or she. But an ice cutter was out there on the lake, thin ice, with a wagon and horse retrieving ice, and the horse and wagon went through. And it said that a year and a half later or something, the wagon popped up floating here in Woods Lake, that it had made the way through that underground aquifer. Over about a year and a half it took to push its way through there and popped up over here. Now, I've only heard that 3 times. I've never read it any place, just heard it from people that had heard it as a story. I have no idea if that's true or not, but about them testing with a dye, that's true. So the aquifer's down there, but I believe this lake is, in some places, is 22 foot deep. In some places, I think it's about the same as Asylum. Okay, this little guy over here gonna sing to us some more, and I'm gonna get going. Have a great day. See you in the next one. Thanks for subscribing, hitting that notification bell. Don't forget to tell your friends and neighbors. I appreciate it. Have a safe day.